Teacher-generated drawings as a strategy in theory instruction has not yet been explored. Drawing in the classroom as a knowledge transfer in theory instruction has not yet been documented in the literature. In both the applied and empirical literature, we found only one documented case that specifically referred to teacher-generated drawing as a strategy. We did a search in the first quarter of 2022 on the major search engines for scholarly articles, Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, cross-references, looking for the word teacher-generated drawing in the title. There was only one article published in the International Journal of the Learning Sciences. We found 200 articles about learner-generated drawing in cross-references, but there was only one reference to teacher-generated drawing. Is a learning strategy that consists in making representative drawings about the theoretical content of a given text that learners are approaching. The act of drawing leads to a deeper understanding of the content far beyond what is explicit in the written text. In this context, drawing is limited to representational drawings, then means that the drawing is intended to look like or share a physical resemblance with the objects that the drawing depicts. Excluded from our discussion are non-representational constructions such as schematics, diagrams, features of a geometry problem and mind maps. With these formats, the intent is the depiction of important elements but not in a form that replicates the physical appearance. It is a teaching strategy that challenges students in theory class with something they do not expect in any other way. The plan is to use drawing in imparting knowledge. Tactically, the theoretical content taught in class is drawn by associating it with a work of art to grab students' attention and facilitate communication and recall. Students draw simultaneously in their notebooks or on the blackboard, alongside the teacher. The literature offers a positive testimony of this strategy on the part of the learner, but without evidence of the teacher's involvement. The teacher does not seem to draw. Nevertheless, we hope that students draw magically without instruction and investigate this principle as a strategy. According to Whitrox, instruction causes the learner to generate distinctive associations between stimuli and memory, facilitating long-term recall and understanding. What is the impact, in the classroom, of the strategy involving teacher-generated drawing? We use action research. Jean McNiff reminds us that action research is living knowledge. In other words, action research is not static or finished, it defines itself as it proceeds. Is a strategy and not a methodology, meaning, we are in a situation of uncertainty. We look for an outside institution. The students must be completely unknown, avoiding placing students and researcher in a familiar environment biased the results. To structure the sessions, meetings was held beforehand with the professors of the curriculum units. They wanted to lecture the methodology Green Rice by Bruno Munari. The 3 classes were from the first year, 2 from the industrial design course, 1 from the graphic design course. In a previous study, the strategy was broken down into 3 steps. 1. Begins in the teacher's notebook, where he draws the content to be transferred. 2. The transfer takes place on the blackboard in the classroom, where it puts it into action and revises it. 3. Back with reviews to the teacher's notebook of the previously transferred content, where he adds the suggestions, revisions, and improvements after the primary implementation for a future one. We have done the same. 1, 2, 3. We construct drawings during class to convey knowledge. The theoretical content was approached and interpreted by drawing, respecting the orality of the teacher, providing a context for the content through a work of art. These representational drawings operate moments of marks, thoughts. All marks, whether intentional or accidental, incorrect or unfinished, must be perceived as such, to cement an approach through alterity and empathy between learner and teacher. Students were invited to draw simultaneously with the teacher in their notebooks or on the board. Drawing focus on direct nonverbal thinking by encouraging dialogue on the drawing surfaces, blackboard/notebooks, to support group discussion, building practical knowledge that is useful to students in academic performance and dissemination. By creating new forms of understanding that stimulate action and reflection, drawing generation lead to questioning both the meaning of the information that builds the knowledge and the action through drawing that carries it out. Assess the understanding of the content exposed in class through visual narrative in drawing. Assess whether visual storytelling in drawing increased your motivation in class. Would you recommend attending these types of classes to other colleagues of yours? What did you feel during the experience? It was concluded that the teacher-generated drawing strategy works by enabling playful learning through its differentiating approach. In the experience strategy, drawing has been shown to provide a sufficient foundation to provide a rewarding teaching and learning experience. Students mentioned they could easily consult their notebooks and remember the lessons, which is a positive qualitative feedback as a strategy. Nevertheless, the lack of drawing skills of some students who were not from previous art and design fields may affect the result of their performance. Considerations for extending this strategy to other areas will be channeled in a future study. Strategy seems to have more to do with what exactly we are not doing. Strategy seems to have to do with aspects that make us unique and that we can only learn, but that can be documented so that others can check themselves and adapt to their values and abilities. By drawing the other, I become the other. By drawing with the other, we become one.